Morning, people. Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you're doing grand. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Don't forget as well to like and share the vids. Thank you very much. All right, let's see what we can quickly talk about. I say quickly because the time is 10 o'clock. I don't know why I always do this. I don't know why I do it. I've been up since 8:30, just been scrolling through the fucking internet. And then at like 9:45, I was like, let me quickly do a video. Even though I need to leave this house. Well, I should leave this house in 15 minutes. That ain't gonna happen. I'm not even at a fresh yet. I'm not even at a fresh. So we are gonna be a bit late to talk sport, which isn't good. Isn't good at all. You know what, yeah? When I went to the studio yesterday, I was content with the progress. Like, not overly happy, but content. But I was thinking, who is gonna be the first guest? Because it's almost like I've got to go out with a bang. So you've got to come in with a bang, right? Like, who is going to be that first guest? I know a lot of you will probably say, in fact, leave a suggestion in the comment section. Because no one's out of reach, really, are they? I mean, you've got to go for it. I guess a lot of you are going to say AJ. AJ's just not going to be possible, obviously, because he's in Sheffield in the lead up to AJ Usyk. Eddie Hearn, like, is Eddie Hearn possible? Don't know. I'm not sure. Now we're doing this DAZN thing. Maybe it's not impossible. So leave your suggestions below, and we'll try and get the first one. It's got to be a big one. I don't even know what's classed as the big one, but it's got to be more than just me speaking to the camera, put it that way. All right, let's see what we can talk about very, very quickly. Lee Wood has no problem if Zhu Can exercises rematch clause. Yeah, he probably will. Like, a lot of you, I've seen a few, not a lot, a few of you. In fact, I'll say the majority of you have been like, oh yeah, well done, Lee Wood, but he's not a real world champion because this belt's obviously a regular belt. Two things. A, I didn't even know this belt was a regular belt until like 2 weeks ago. I started doing my research and I was like, Zhu Can's only the regular champion. Didn't even know. Reason I didn't know is because Leo Santa Cruz has not defended this belt for 2.5 years. If anyone deserves to be stripped, it's Leo Santa Cruz. It's ridiculous. That's incredible. You've not fought at this weight class or defended this belt for 2.5 years. You fought at a higher weight class. Surely that's it then. Surely that's it, right? So for me, if I'm Lee Wood, I'm thinking I'm a world champion right now. I am, and I'd be shocked if the WBA don't just upgrade him to full status. I think they will, and I think he deserves to think himself as a world champion. I mean, look, the Americans always do this. I'm sorry to my American viewers. I mean, Gervonta Davis has won how many regular belts, and people class those as world titles, right? His management team say things like freeweight world champion, all that nonsense. So we're going to do it with our Brits. Lee Wood is a world champion. Tyson Fury, I'm coming for the big useless dosser, the excuse maker. Next. I've just seen that Caroline Dubois has got beat, I think, in the quarter-final stages of the Olympics. She put on her social media page, I'm sorry I've let everyone down. You've not let anyone down. Not at all. You're at the Olympics. I mean, the achievement is there, yes. I mean, we'd have loved you to get a medal, maybe even gold, but you've not let anyone down whatsoever. You've got a great career in front of you. And the thing is, with the Olympics now being a year, like, you know, obviously it should have been in 2020, now 2021. If she wants to stay on, she only got 3 years to wait for another cycle. So she could be, she could do that, or she could turn pro. She's got options, right? She's got options. What's this? Heron Stevenson, WBO orders August 9th purse bid. Heron split to land in Stevenson's favor. That's crazy. Oh, no, sorry, I read that wrong. Okay, Heron Stevenson, WBO orders August 9th purse bid hearing, split to land in Stevenson's favor. Okay, I read it wrong, but not really completely wrong. That's crazy. So the split is going to land in the favor of the challenger. What? Normally, just so you guys know how it works, it's champion, challenger. It's normally 75-25 split. 75-25. Think how lopsided that is then. So it's normally 75 to the champion, 25 to the challenger. Herring is the champion. If it's going to land in Stevenson's favor, that's crazy. That is mental. At worst, 50-50. How can... How can the champion get the wrong side of this deal? Madness. Absolute madness. Oh, that coffee's good, boy. That coffee is good. Anything else to talk about? I'm sure there is. Alan Babbage aims to wipe out Mark Bennett in the first 3 rounds. Wouldn't shock me if he does. I'm liking this fight card this week. You know, I think the fight card on Saturday had better fights, but I like the characters in this one. I like Webb, Wardley. I like that. That's going to be a bit of a fire one. Babbage is on it, which is good. Jazza Dickens and Kid Galahad, they've obviously had a fight before. They've got their little beef going on. Ebony Bridges is there as well. She takes on Beck Connolly. Who else is on it? Who I should know, shouldn't I? I should know, but who else is on this card? Let's have a quick look, man. All this guesswork. Ellie Scotney's on it as well. Who is... Oh, Johnny Fisher. Oh, okay. Akib Fiaz. Okay. All right. Okay, well, we'll see. I'm just liking it from my standpoint, my point of view, that I can, when I'm interviewing these people, there's some stories to them, which is good. This I saw yesterday. Someone actually mentioned it on Sunday, and I was like, what are you talking about? They were obviously true. Daniel Dubois, Tommy Fury have been added to the Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley Showtime pay-per-view undercard on the 29th of August, so not long to go. That's just interesting and has come from nowhere. Now, where's that even come from? How strange, how random. It's even more strange because I'm sure Frank was working with Top Rank and ESPN, like they had some sort of deal, and now his fighters are fighting on Showtime. Bit strange, no? Good luck to both of them. I mean, I know a lot of people have said things like, obviously Paul Woodley's going to get good numbers. It's going to get crazy numbers that I wouldn't be shocked if it touches, I don't know what figure it could touch. 500,000, maybe a bit more, maybe $1 million. I'm not quite sure. It's good. It's good for Daniel Dubois to be on that, right? All eyes on him. People will tune in to watch Daniel Dubois fight. He's going to be exciting. He's going to be explosive, and it grows his brand. It's good. And for Tommy Fury, obviously, what you want to do. I think Tommy Fury's fighting a former MMA guy or an MMA guy. That's just maybe switching over to boxing for this one. For Tommy Fury, what you want to do is win, look impressive, get on the mic and call out Jake Paul, providing obviously Jake Paul gets his job done later on in the evening. But for Daniel Dubois, I mean, this is some good exposure. I mean, it is. Sometimes I don't know how that translates. Does it get you more followers? Whatever it does, though, it's better than not fighting on this card. So even if he gets increased followers of 1%, it's something, right? And I think it's going to be way more than that. So good luck to Daniel Dubois. I don't know. Let's see if he's got an opponent yet. Boom, 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 boom. I can't believe I'm still filming this, considering I should be walking to the train station right now. He's fighting... Who's this? Joe Casamano, who is 19-3, 33 years old. Okay, stopped Gregory Corbin. And he's got the vacant WBC United States heavyweight title. I don't know what that is, but that's what he's got. I'm trying to look if there's anyone that he fought coming up that he lost. You know what? He's been fighting people with winning records, not great winning records, but winning records. You never know, it could be a good one. Could be a good little scrap. So yeah, good luck to him. Who's Tommy Fury fan? Again, let's have a look if this guy is. I think he is a former MMA. I don't even think this guy he's fighting's had a boxing match, but we'll see. Okay, no, he's fighting a guy called Anthony Taylor, who is 0-1. Okay. His progression's been a bit weird. I mean, look, his last fight was against a guy who was 2-0. But, no. Is he viewed as a talent? Like someone that, like, what is the viewpoint with Tommy Fury, by the way? Is he, and this is a genuine question, I'm actually chucking it out there. Is he viewed as someone that, okay, this guy's talented and he's going to go places, or is it still Tyson Fury's brother? Like, what's the thing? And what I mean by that is obviously he's Tyson Fury's brother, but I mean, like, are they using that just because he's not that good but he'll still sell tickets? Obviously, he's Love Island and all that kind of stuff. Or are they in the viewpoint that this guy's actually a good fighter? Like, what is the situation? I really don't know with Tommy Fury. That's why when I look at his record, I'm like, am I judging him harshly? Should he be fighting people with better standards? I don't know. All right, is there anything else before we leave? Deontay Wilder trainer prides himself on effective pad work. We're not trying to be Roger and Floyd. The amount of people, like, if you want to see real pad work, look, I say real pad work, I mean, each to their own, right? Obviously, everyone's got their own way of doing pad work, but if you're, like, just bored, I mean, and you want to see, like, real pad work, I'm trying to think who was the best at it. Oh, God, his name is skipping me now. I can't believe I forget his name. 2 seconds. This is really bad. Gerald McClellan. Sorry, forgive me. Gerald McClellan, Manny Stewart. Go and watch that. Go and watch the way he is literally punching through the pad. You know, like nowadays, when I see pad work, it's almost like the person holding the pads is doing that. Does that make any sense? So it's like they're doing that. Like, it's like that. It's weird. Manny Stewart is literally just doing that, and he is flying through the pads. It's like, boom. I'm not a fan of all that Mayweather pad work. It worked for Mayweather, but now you see a lot of people do it. Like, obviously, Tunde, we see do it with Anthony Yard, and so many. I'm not a fan of it at all. I like old school fucking pad work. Like, old school pad work. 70s, 80s, where it was just literally guys budding the pads. It wasn't a case of the pad person hitting down on the punches. Does that make any sense what I'm saying? Hopefully it does. But yeah, I actually understand what Malik Scott is saying here. I don't know Malik Scott. I actually can't remember what Malik Scott's pad work is with Deontay Wilder, but I'm not a fan of that tippy-tappy pad shit. Again, works for Floyd, doesn't work for everyone. Hearn, Canelo Golovkin 3, not possible for September 18th. GGG is focused on Murata fight. When is the Murata fight? Let's ask him those questions during the week. But yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see what happens with Canelo. It looks like it will be Bivol, which is not a bad sort of dropout from Khaled Plant. But Bivol needs to be announced now as well. Like, you got to give Bivol time if that's the case. September 18th. I mean, dude, that's going to be difficult. That's 6 weeks away. 6 weeks to fight Canelo. I don't know. Maybe we won't see Canelo September 18th. Michael Hunter, I was never really embraced by Matchroom. I think he said this quite a lot, hasn't he? I was shocked that his contract didn't get re-upped or renewed. Like, when I heard that it was a free agent, it was like, oh, okay, they're going to sign him again. When they didn't, I was like, that's interesting. But maybe he just didn't make economical sense. Maybe sometimes it doesn't come down to how talented you are. Sometimes it does come down to, can you move the needle? Can you put bums on seats? Can you sell pay-per-views? Can you do all those things? I love Michael Hunter as a fighter, but maybe he can't do that. So maybe the money in which he was paid doesn't justify what he brings to the table. That does sound harsh, I know, because, like, for me, Michael Hunter, especially after the Povetkin draw, I kind of had Michael Hunter as a top 10 heavyweight. That should be enough, right? I'm doing my job. I'm a top 10 heavyweight. But I mean, if you can't draw and move the needle, if you can't sell tickets, then, you know, maybe it's not going to work. And some people might watch this and say, well, yeah, Matchroom are the promoter. They've got to do it. They've got to make him big. Sometimes you've got to make yourself big, right? They help you, but you've got to do your thing yourself. And maybe Michael Hunter just didn't do enough of it. Maybe. I'm not saying, I don't know 100%. I'm just saying. 2 seconds. Barry McGuigan backs Anthony Joshua to beat Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury. I'm not gonna say no to what Barry's saying there. Let's see. Let's see. Imagine AJ's next 2 fights are Usyk and Tyson Fury. That's so epic, but we'll see. I'm still shitting myself for the Usyk fight personally, but we'll see. Aram here saying, if Joshua loses, there are a lot of good heavyweights Fury can fight. I'm just tired of this. By the way, did you see, did Mayweather Promotions offer Keith Thurman the Gervonta Davis fight? Like, does that what, like, strange? I mean, what, with Gervonta Davis going to 147? Because Keith ain't making the 140 or no 144 catchweight. Like, that's a weird, strange matchup that I don't mind watching. Just strange. In all fairness, though, Keith's been out the ring for so long. Look, if they're offering good money, Keith, if I'm Keith, I'm like, dude, you fought at 130 8 months ago. I will sleep you at 147 because Keith can crack. But I don't know. I don't know if that was some sort of joke or they're serious about it, but it'll be interesting to see how that one plays out. A bit here from Timothy Bradley saying that Gervonta Davis will stop Ryan Garcia. I believe that as well. I do believe that. Last bit here, just because we are super late to work. Johnny Rice, this happened on the weekend, and I didn't speak about it. Johnny Rice beat Michael Coffey. Michael Coffey, unbeaten heavyweight prospect in America. I think he was 12-13-0. Johnny Rice came in on short notice and beat him. Short notice fights are so risky. Like, people always look at it the other side, right? So people would always look at it as though the guy coming in has the big disadvantage because the guy has been training for an opponent. Sometimes, though, it's the guy that's been training for an opponent. He's been training for a specific style, like training hard, grinding, sparring for a specific style. And then all of a sudden, this kid rocks up with like nothing to lose. That's just going to go for it. And it's a style you've not really been training for. It's not easy. Like, I remember back in the day, John Jones, this is when John Jones was at his peak in the UFC. He pulled out of a last minute fight. So his opponent got injured, or I can't remember what happened, but they were going to let him fight Chael Sonnen, who was a middleweight coming up. And John Jones refused it. John Jones says no. Bear in mind, John Jones, in my eyes, would have slept Chael Sonnen early. But it was like, no, I've not been training for that style. I'm not fighting Chael Sonnen. Chael Sonnen's a wrestler. I've been training for a striker. And that's John Jones, peak at the time, the GOAT. Still is the GOAT, but the GOAT said, no, I ain't doing it. So it's very risky. All right, guys, let's see if we can get to work in 10 minutes. Peace.